here to talk about, theoretically, what is potentially
the
most dangerous
right.
room in the world. And I suddenly had a moment of fear where I was like, I didn't proofread this. I was going, oh my god, did I misspell it? But, which is the lasting legacy of real hot messes and world-class meltdowns. So you may think the most dangerous room in the world is the restroom after Taco Tuesday at Taco Bell. But that would be incorrect. Or it could be at the Dead Fish Tower restaurant in Siem Reap, which is literally a restaurant built on top of an entire pit of crocodiles. But no, it's not. Or this room that has an entire floor made of snakes. Still wrong! Because in fact it's in the basement of this particular building. And within this room there is a foot. More specifically, the elephant foot. More specifically, the elephant foot of Chernobyl, which is an amalgamation of what's referred to as quote-unquote corium, which is approximately 2 meters in diameter, weighs as much as 2 full African bull elephants, and is composed of the former liquidated core of Chernobyl reactor number 4. So that is uranium, steel, concrete, sand, boron, and lithium. So on April 26, 1986, when the Chernobyl reactor went into meltdown, ultimately the whole entire core liquidated, as well as all of its control rods. This ultimately reached temperatures somewhere in excess of 4,000 degrees Fahrenheit, at which point it melted out the bottom of the reactor vessel, splatted onto the floor, melted through the concrete floor about 6 feet of reinforced concrete before it started oozing its way through the basement. Slowly, over the course of 4 days, it came down to a temperature of about 1,600 degrees Celsius, so 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit, and then slowly coalesced in the very bottom basement access tunnel to form this particular object known as the elephant's foot. And it is, without a doubt, one of the most radioactive items on the planet, producing 10,000, Roentgens?
Roentgens.
We won't know.
But long story short, 30 seconds, you start to get dizzy. At 120 seconds, you start having hemorrhaging as your cells start to degrade. 240 seconds, that's about the time where you start to actually have like the immediate results of acute radiation sickness. So you start puking and having explosive diarrhea, and at a mere 5 minutes, you'd be dead. So when they initially discovered it, they had to peer around a corner and used a mirror to take a look at it, and then ultimately wheeled carts in with cameras to take photographs. So this would be one of the best photographs that we have available, because all of them are super grainy, because there is so much radiation in the room that it pretty well trashes the film. And
why is there a ghost?
Huh?
Why is there radiation?
It's just due to a prolonged exposure, because it is truly down to basement. They're shining flashlights around, and that's all they have to illuminate the photograph.
Gotcha.
But it's basically going to be the sole reason why nobody returns to Chernobyl for the next 100 years, because it's continuing to eat its way through the concrete floor, and so there is a concern that given enough time, it will make contact with groundwater, at which point it could potentially cause a steam explosion and you get Chernobyl 2.0.
Ooh.
Is it still mega hot?
It is not super warm, but at its core, it is still high enough to be slowly, and I guess concrete doesn't melt, but it is slowly decompositioning the concrete and settling by a centimeter or 2 every year. Yeah. But that said, I still am a strong advocate for nuclear power as the safest way forward for energy. But I want the safest way forward for energy. But in any case, take care, everyone.